afternoon, happy crafters, how are you all? Thank you for joining me, Toni Darroch, live in my studio here in Wakefield. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, and I love art, anything to do with stamps, dies, paintbrushes, paints, and all the good stuff that goes around all of that. And I know you guys do too, that's why you tune in week on week. I do apologise for not being around on Monday. I'm having a bit of grief with the good old mouth. It's not through too much talking though. It's through eating all the time. So I've had a bit of drama, but it's okay now. So fingers crossed for now. So in today's studio, we're going to just run through a couple of new products and do a few demos for you. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button. As always, I do encourage you to do this. It just inspires other people to do it as well. And then it's like sharing everything we do so people can get hints, tips, inspiration. So if you've lost your mojo a little bit, this is probably a great place to be. If you're watching on Facebook, don't forget to pop a comment below. Let me know about anything basically. Did you enjoy the demos? Is it something you always do? Is it something new to you? And over on our Eureka fan page, that's where you can show all your beautiful makes. And it's a great place to be for you to get some encouragement and maybe get you to pick up a paintbrush or try something new. So if you're sat at home thinking I'm just not good enough, you are good enough. You need to just go to our Eureka fan page. There are lots of people on there who post their makes for the first time and they are amazing. Everybody is different, everybody is unique. Don't try and be like anybody else. So in today's studio, we're going to do some of our earlier products and some of our newer products. What I wanted to tell you also though is a couple of our infamous products are back in stock. So firstly, I'd like to let you all know, you've all been waiting patiently, the Eureka is back in stock. So if you haven't got the Eureka and have been sitting on the fence wondering, shall I, shan't I, this is probably a great opportunity to grab the Eureka. I am on Create and Craft on Friday with the Eureka also. We also have some other products that are back in stock. We have our silky crayons, our watercolour pencils, I know a lot of you have been waiting for those, and a few various other pieces. All you need to do is go to our search engine on our website, pop FBL Facebook Live into the search engine, and it brings up all the products that we've used in show today, that we've used over the course of the last however many weeks. So you don't have to go hunting or fishing for it, it's all there for you. Two of the newest products that I wanted to tell you about today is our brand new pencil sharpeners. So as I said to you, if you did buy the lovely pencils, the watercolour pencils, following on from those pencils, there will be other pencils. There's going to be some wax-based pencils. There's going to be some oil-based pencils. You do need a good pencil sharpener. So if you are progressing into the world of colouring, whether it be with a brush, a pencil, tubes, you need the good products that are going to enable you to create masterpieces. If you have a blunt tip on a pencil, you aren't going to get the results. So we have some pencil sharpeners to show you today, and these work in conjunction with all the lovely, beautiful Maya products we have in store also. So I am on Create and Craft on Friday at 7 and 2. I will be on there with a lot of new products, a lot of media products, so tubes, silks, gift sets, the Eureka, so lots of things you haven't seen for such a long time. If you have already got these products, that's also amazing. I'll be doing lots of quick demos, quick pick things so you can get some inspiration along the way, so you can sit back with your cup of tea and just watch if you've already got the products. So in show today, I'm just going to show you these two sharpeners. Now these sharpeners are not small, they are huge. I will just tell you exactly how big they are right now. 5-inch. Who needs a 5-inch pencil? You do. Basically, they are yellow and red. Here they are, and you're probably thinking, oh my goodness me, what is that? So I ordered everybody's laughing at me now, but I ordered these pencil sharpeners thinking, oh my goodness me, they are so expensive. Who's going to pay that for a pencil sharpener? And then when they came, I'm like, oh my goodness me, who's got space to house it? They are huge. But let me tell you, it's fabulous. All the design team have been sent these, and all of them have messaged me saying, if you need me, come and find me in my craft room, I'm going to be sharpening all my pencils. It's such a joy to see your pencil go from a blunt nib right to a precision point as an artist. So you're going to get a whole new level of colouring with a precision point. and I'm going to sharpen a few pencils and show you exactly what I mean. You're going to be shocked, let me tell you. So this is mine. It's exactly the same as this one. This is a prototype, it's just a clear one. So I've been using this, sharpening my pencils and having a good old time, and you can see there it is quite big, but it does sit nicely on your desk. It's got the rubber base on there, so when you pop it down it's not going to slide when you're doing your pencils. It's got the metal technology in there, so you are truly going to get the point that you've all been waiting for, and I'm going to show you that. But the two we have, which are now ready and are for sale, they are £12.99. Wow, £12.99 for a pencil, pencil sharpener, but it will take your pencils to the level they need to be at. So you always see artists with the really long nibs on their pencils, and they get that through a high-end pencil sharpener. So I'll just get this yellow one out of the box because I think this will show clearer on air what it looks like. Can we see that there? So basically it's got the metal technology in there, so that is going to give you the point that you actually need. It's got the twist technology on here, so you can adjust it with how much you want it as a point or how much you don't, depending on what you're trying to do. So if you're using your watercolour pencils, you need them to have a point, but if you're needing ones for detail, then you're going to have to twist it a little bit tighter and the point will be even more precision, should we say. So basically you pop your pencil in the end here, you don't hold the pencil, you just push the pencil in as far as it will go and you twist. Just twist, you don't have to hold the pencil and it will do all the work for you. Just give it a good old twist. When you pull it out, the end, you will smile when you see the end, let me tell you. So I'm going to show you on mine because this is a brand new one and I don't want to use a brand new one. So I'm just going to pop this back in here. It does come with full instructions as well. But the colour range is red or yellow. You'll never have to buy another pencil sharpener again, guys, if you do buy this one. So let me just quickly show you with mine what a difference it will make. So I'm just going to grab my watercolour pencils. Now these are in the show on Friday. They are also available on our website. So if you did miss out last time, you know, you can come and get them from either us or Create and Craft. So let's just take one of the pencils here. So I'm just going to show you. So I'm just going to pop the pencil straight in. Now I'm going to push it in till it stops. And it's like education on a pencil sharpener, what's all that about? But I just wanted to show you because honestly, the results you get are amazing. And then you pop it on the table, put your hand on the top, give it a twist. So you can do it for as long as you like or as little as you like. Look at that. So this is how they are. Can we see that? So if you wanted it even sharper, pop it back in, hand on the top. You're not going to get much more point than that. So we have compared it to some other ones on the market as well, and this one, I can't obviously say the names, but we have done a comparison, and this one, on these ones here, it takes the wood farther back so you can see how much colour you've got in there, the pigment. And obviously you're probably thinking, well, I've lost half of my pencil there. Well, I haven't, because the pencil is exactly the same really. All it's done is cut back the wood rather than the colour. Does that make any sense at all? So you know now you're going to get such a detail with this point on here rather than the stub, which it comes as. So if you have got your pencils, you need to pop them in, get them sharpened, and then you are absolutely ready to go. If you do sharpen to the precision point, you don't have to press on when you're colouring. Don't forget that, because if you just press on, you're just going to snap the end. Okay, you just need to do your gentle blending and it will do the work for you. The precision point gives you that capability. So, new pencil sharpeners. If you've already bought a pencil sharpener, guys, because I did encourage you to get a pencil sharpener. If you've got one and it works, stick with it. You don't need another pencil sharpener. Don't be a hoarder and buy lots and lots of things. If you've got something that works, stick with it. So let's go into our demonstrations then. So for today's demos, we're going to do a little bit of tone on tone. Something a little bit different today to what we normally do. So, and we're going to be using some colour today. So let's just move all this lovely stuff out of the way. So I have here a lovely like tealy coloured top folding note card and a piece of white cardstock too. And we're going to use our lovely stencil that we launched on TV with the heart stamps and dies. So if you are watching the show, if you are watching the show and you don't have any of our products, please don't worry about it. Go through your stash. Even as a beginner, you will have something in your stash where you can create the same look as what we're going to achieve today. You don't have to have all Stamps by Me products, just get out what you've got. And you can still pop it on our lovely Eureka fan page because it's encouragement. It's not all about selling, albeit we'd love you to buy our products. We do like you to come and be inspired. So I've just put that stencil on this, move that out so it doesn't confuse. So we've got this piece of blue cardstock here and I'm just popping this stencil over half here. Now, if you're not the most confident stencilist, you can secure your stencil down in two corners, just while you get the ink through there. Generally, I would just hold it, but for set, we will just hold it in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stencil, obviously, this side of the stencil onto this piece of cardstock here. So tone on tone, so I'm going for Mermaid Lagoon, and this is the Distress ink. So this should cast a shadow, should we say, over our artwork. So I'm just going to pick up some of this lovely colour and I'm just going to stencil it through. I'll just have a little look just to make sure it is showing, and it is, which is nice. But you can swap out the colours, make it as dark or as light as you wish. So we're going to use this stencil twice today in our demonstrations. I know a lot of you have already got this one, so you will be able to get it out straight away and have a good old play with it instantly. Got plenty of colour on there. And when I say tone on tone, it's similar colours, very similar colours. So it just looks like a shadow. So it's basically layering in similar colours. So I think we'll go with that. There we go. So when you lift it up, can you see there? You get this like beautiful effect on there. Now if you wanted to go through again with a different colour, you could just offset it slightly and it would cast a darker shadow underneath. So you can play around with these. There is really no right or wrong way, but I'm happy with that little bit of detail on there. I don't really want it to be much darker. So we'll just set this aside. So I'm just going to grab my Eureka and we're going to use the stamp from Tell Me a Story. So you know the lovely paper collection that most of you bought. I'm going to use the stamp from there, and I have this piece of white cardstock here. I'm just going to pop it face down in my Eureka. But what I'm going to do first off is I'm just going to turn my mat over because I have a funny feeling my mat's a little bit dirty. So I'll just hold that in place there. So when I say the stamp from Tell Me a Story, I'm just going to grab it now for you so you can see which one I'm referring to. But again, as I always say, all of our products are on the FBL search over on our website. So that's this one here we're going to use, and we're going to use this smaller one here at the bottom. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to creep this over this bottom corner here. I'm going to stamp this one in black. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use our lovely pencils, and I'm going to show you how to mix an ink pad with your watercolour pencils. So you don't have to just use your pencils, you can mix it up with the other products that you have in your stash. I'm just going to pop it so I get this little piece over this little corner up here too. And just catching little elements of the stamp over the corners. There we go. I'm just going to pop this back on the carrier sheet. So I'm going to bring the Distress ink pad back in, what we used earlier for our stenciling technique. And then what I'm going to do is from our lovely pencil collection. Now I know a lot of you have done your swatches, which is fabulous, and probably numbered them as well. So this is my swatch for my pencils. And I'm going to just pick a lovely yellow. So I'm just going to go with this one here. But as you can see, I haven't sharpened it, so I am just going to sharpen it so I can get a nice point on there for when we come to do our lovely colouring. I have already done some colouring ahead of time. You see that? How cool is that? There we go, you can see how lovely that is. I've already coloured one of them ahead of time and it's on the reverse of here, but I am just going to quickly show you how I coloured one of the heads. So I stamped that just to show you, but if I turn it over, can we see this one here I've done ahead of time? So we've got the yellow and we've got, it looks green on there. That's what happens when I've mixed this pencil with this Distress ink. So, you know, get your products out, you can mix and match. You do not have to just use pencils or just use acrylics or just use your tubes. Mix them up a little bit. So all I'm basically going to do is I'm just going to colour. I coloured this one before I came to end. I'm just going to colour this one live now with you. So I'm just going in a circular motion all over. Now traditionally I would just pop a little piece of the colour in some of the petals, but because I want it to be really vibrant when I add this Distress ink, I'm going all over, just doing circular motion all over every petal. Getting nice coverage on there. So I'm not being over careful with it really, you know, just get some colour down. And then I'm just going to pop some of the Distress ink on the top of my mat here. And I'll just get a small size 4 brush. I'm just going to pick up some of the ink from the ink pad and I'm just going to mix it in here. And what will happen is you'll get this like lovely, like, can we call it lime green? I'm just dropping it on top of that yellow and it's activating that yellow and giving me this beautiful like lime green colour. Can you see that there? So I'm just going to clean my door. And we'll get this dried off. I'm just going to blast that off with my gun. Now you can leave it to air dry, but for speed we're just going to go for it because I have got a couple of demos to get through. It's just a note for yourselves, we're not here tomorrow. Hence the reason why we're here today, but we are back to normal as of next week. There are going to be some changes in maybe a few of our studios in the up and coming future. We are going to be in the process of moving offices as well, but I will keep you all posted on exactly what's happening, whether we can't do things, but we will keep you all in the loop. Your patience is appreciated on that one, to be honest. Right, so let's get this card constructed. So this lovely stenciled part here that we've done here on here, which is tone on tone, I'm going to stick it onto our top folding note card. Can we see that there? So you can do this flat or you can pad it. I'm just going to go, let's just go flat. So there is no matte and layer on this one. I didn't want to take your eye away from the detail really in the back of this card. So like so. And then with this piece that we did here, I've just got a lovely matte and layer piece here which coordinates with my other card, and I'm just going to stick this flat onto here. Now you could pop a hue around there by using your pencils and dragging it out with your watercolours if you wanted to. You have more time than I do in studio, so do have a play with them. So I'm just making sure that's stuck. Like so, and then I'm just going to grab some pads. And what I'll do is I'll just stick this one with a little bit of dimension behind. Not too much though. You're never going to get more than one layer or two layers out of me, as you all know. So we'll raise this one. Just got the little pads here. And then what I'm going to do is, rather than stick it straight in the centre and ruin it, I'm going to offset, so what happens is this medallion here goes right around. I'm going to take it right to the edge of our card though. You see there? And then ahead of time, from this lovely stamp set here, which is the free one, which is still available, so this one here. So sending you lots of love. I have heat embossed Best Friends Forever on there. Now I have done Have a Great Day as well, so I think we'll go with Have a Great Day on this one. So I'm just going to pop a pad under this little element here. So this one I heat embossed in white onto black cardstock, because I just thought it brought the card together. And then I'm just popping some glue under this end because this is going to be on the raised element. So I think we'll go about here, shall we? And I'm going to leave that card as is. I don't want to distract your eye from the actual image. If I put gems on there, we're going to lose the beauty of that card. So that's demonstration number 1. Now, demonstration number 2 still uses a lot of the elements we've used in number 1, but in different formats, should we say. So this is a top folding note card, my favourite. This is all I use generally, but I want to show you that if you change the size and the colour, how different it can look. So let's set this one aside. So this time we're going to go shimmer, gold shimmer, and it's going to be on a DL. So you could have it this way if you wanted to, or this way if you wanted to. So let's just set that aside. And then we have our next element. So I'm just going to clean the stencil, just get rid of that blue, because if it mixes with what I'm going to use next, it'll not be a pretty colour. We'll end up with a little bit of a muddy mess. So I'm just going to clean that off there. So this time we used ink last time, so this time we're going to use texture paste. And we're going to go for gold because it's tone on tone. So this is the element that I'm going to use here. So I'm going to I'm going to go twice on this one. So let's leave a little bit of this up here. So let's hold it down in place. Now, if you are using texture paste, I do encourage you to tape it down. If it slides, it will ruin your paste. So have the time and patience to just secure it down. So I have my tool and I have some Glitz Craft, and it's the satin frosting paste and it's a gold. Now it looks a bit sandy on there, but it has got a lot of gold glitter in there, so I'm hoping when it dries it'll be similar tone to what we've got at the base here. So I'm just giving it a good old stir. Now this is the satin one. They also do it in a glitter one as well. The great thing about these Glitz Craft ones is they dry within minutes. All the others that I've used tend to take ages to dry. You can blast these off with your gun as well if you want to. So I'm an impatient crafter, so I do like to just crack on. So that's why this paste works for me. But if you've got a paste in your stash at home that actually works and you love, then just use that one. Use what you're used to. So I'm just going over the stencil. So it's not covering the whole of the card, it's sort of creating, what's the word I'm looking for? Interest. It's creating interest more than a focal point. So I'm not putting it on thick, I'm just putting a little light layer on top, pushing it down. Don't forget to clean your stencil after you've used it as well, because it does have glue in there, so you'll ruin your stencil if you don't wash your stencil. I'm not sure if camera's picking that up, but this is a beautiful gold. Taking it all the way to the bottom. Take it all the way to this edge here too. Make sure I've got it covered. And I can scrape all the excess off when I'm happy it's through. If I've got any gaps, I can push it in. And hey, at the end of the day, if you don't do it right and it squidges, it's a bit of cardstock in it, we'll do it again. I'll just get rid of that excess on there. Let's have a quick look, see how we're doing. Wow, how cool that is. That is pretty awesome. Can't tell I'm pleased with that one, can you? So I'm just going to pop this little, I'm just going to get a little bit of a creeping one over this base here, because I do like open spaces, as you all know. I'm a fan of white spaces, albeit in this occasion it's gold spaces, but I do like the open spaces. So let's just clean that off there. So this will only take, because I've not done it very thick, this will only take couple of minutes to dry hopefully, and if it's not ready, what I'll do is I'll blast it off with my gun just for the purpose of the demo. So pop it on. So I am absolutely no expert at this texture paste stuff, but as you can see, even a beginner, you still get great results. So I do encourage you to give it a go. It's not scary, albeit I'm shaking, because I really do want it to be nice and right. You know, I do encourage you just to have a go. I'm just going to scrape off all that excess on there. Actually, it looks like it looks embossed. It's beautiful. I'm really pleased with that, actually. I didn't think it'd turn out as good as that. But anyway, so I'll scrape off that excess. Always remember to seal. So I'm just washing my tool in the water. Yeah, let's just set that aside. There we go. Oh, sorry, straight out of shot. So you can see there, as soon as that dries, that gold will look absolutely stunning. Just give that a quick wipe. I'll give that a wipe in a second. So I'll just set that aside while that just dries nicely. As I said, you can set it with your heat tool if you haven't got the patience, but because I'm going to just move on to the next step of the card, will give it some drying time. Let me just grab some blue roll just to get this off here. So the card blanks, the coloured card blanks are coming soon from Stamps by Me. We've had a lot of comments about white top folding note cards, craft, black, and we've recognised the fact that there aren't enough coloured cards and coordinating envelopes. So if you have been waiting for bright red cards and bright red envelopes that coordinate, stand by. We've put a lot of thought into matching A4 card that will match your card blanks, that will match your envelopes, and just give you a whole new crafting scope, should we say, because traditionally we only craft on white, craft and black. So we're going to move away from that, and we're going to inject some colour into crafting, because albeit we love our traditional colours, when you step out of those traditional colours and into something bright and breezy, it can take your cards to a whole new level. And I think, you know, they're quite expensive to get, the coloured envelopes to match, so we're working on it. These are mine that I'm playing with to see how we get on, and thank you if you have asked the question. So they are coming soon, you just need to be patient and we'll get them out to you as soon as we can. There's going to be loads of colours, they're going to be amazing. So I have this here. Now you all saw me earlier stamp the other one and colour it in blue, which was this one, wasn't it? So on this one I used the longer version in Tell Me a Story stamp set. So on this one I used this long one here. The reason why I used the long one is because obviously the piece of cardstock I'm using I'm doing as a portrait, so I needed something quite tall. So I have started the colouring on it, so let's finish it. So going back to our watercolours, now if you haven't got watercolours, you can use normal pencils. If you've got your Derwents, you know, Faber-Castells, whatever you've got, they will work. And if you love them, then, you know, you can still do the same techniques, so get them out. So I've started this one in red, and I think I've made it to look a little bit like a poppy, as you know, my favourite flower, poppy. So I'm just going to colour this red one here. I've done this one ahead of time, but I'm just going to show you how I layer the colour, how I watercolour it first, and then I add a second layer just using the pencil on top. So I have this red one here. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to even circles across the base of each petal. Now I'm not covering it all because I don't need to, because I am going to use water. I'm just popping a little bit of colour to the base of each petal. So where I've popped the lines in, that is an indication where you need to be popping your colour. So always, with Stamps by Me stamps, always follow the lines, because they're a good indication as to where the light and shade will be. So I'm just going to grab a small brush. I'm just going to grab that lovely colour out. Drag, not grab. And as soon as you add the water, the colour will just intensify and pop. Like so. You see that there? But I'm just going to dry that off. So that looks lovely. Very flat though, no dimension, no layering or anything. So with the same pencil, I'm just going to add some shading. So where the lines are, I'm just going to add a pop of colour. Now I'm not going to re-wet this one, I'm just adding some more intense colour on top of the watercolour. So where those lines are is where I'm popping the colour in. So you can see there now we've got something that's got instant light and shade. So you can go in, add more colour to the centres, drag it out if you want to. So, I mean, this set has every colour you could possibly need. Now, if you've got a set of pencils at home that I say I've only got 12 in, and it doesn't have the darkest of reds, this is not dark, but this collection we do have goes very dark. But say you haven't got a dark red pencil, the way to create a dark red is if you grab a blue pencil from your stash and you go over the red with the blue from the centre out, and then go back over it with your red pencil, you will have a darker red. So it's just food for thought. If you haven't got the darkest of reds, pop a little bit of blue in there and then go over it with your red pencil. So I'm going to leave that as is because that looks okay to me. So let's set this aside. And again, I've got another piece of the gold shimmer card. And I'm just going to stick this on here like so, creating a nice matten layer. So try not to get any mucky prints if you can, like me. So there we have the lovely like poppy panel, albeit it's a magnolia. It looks like a poppy now we've coloured it in red. Like so. So let's have a look at how it's getting golder and golder. Oh, nearly there. I'm going to just blast it off with my gun. Just give it a little bit of a nudge to dry. What happens is when you dry this with your gun, you can actually see the glue, which is a paler colour, dry. So you know it's drying, if that makes any sense at all. You can see the glue disappear. I'm not sure if, I bet you could get a great technique if you held your gun in place on this, to be honest, because it starts to bubble, which is going to give a fantastic result. So I'm just going to do this bottom corner too. I think that should be good to go. Just going to lay it flat on my mat till it. Yep, that's good to go, which is perfect. Now, traditionally, you can't do that with your glitter paste. It takes forever, but with this fabulous stuff, I don't know what they do down at the lovely Glitz Craft Factory, but it's amazing. So thank you for bringing us all a wonderful product. So let's get this adhered. So this is going to stick straight onto here, leaving a lovely border round like we did with our other card. So albeit I haven't matte and layered any colour underneath, it still pops from the page because I've made it slightly smaller. So I'm just going to hold it in place while it grabs. We do have on our website the tools, some pretty inexpensive tools. So if you haven't got the tools to go with your texture paste, we do have those on our website. So if you're thinking, well, you know, I haven't got all the tools to do all that fancy stuff, there are a few tools on there and they are pretty inexpensive. Just make sure that whatever you do, when you're finished, you wash them so you can use them again and again. Just make sure that's absolutely stuck. I don't like lumps and bumps. And what's going to happen now is, because we've done tone on tone with the background, it really wouldn't matter what colour you coloured the flowers at the foreground. And whatever you put on the colours at the foreground, it's just going to literally pop from the page, and you'll see that in a second. So I'm just going to score this line down here a little bit harder so my card stays shut. There we go. There we go, it stays shut now, so at least it'll stick in place. So there we go, it's got our lovely card blank going on there. So this is the lovely one that we coloured. And again, I'm just going to pop it, offset it. So it's up to you, you could hide more, you could pop it straight in the centre if you wanted to. Now you're all screaming at the TV, I know, saying pop it in the centre. No, pop it to the right. Because of the other one, we've gone right, I'm going to go right again. Just because I want today's cards to be different. So I'm going to go right. But if you do the technique at home, you go with what works with you. So I'm just going to stick this flat right on the right here. and I'm taking it flush to the edge of the card. There we go. And just give it a good old push down. Now, food for thought there, I've just stuck it onto texture paste. Will that stick? Well, we'll soon find out, won't we? It seems to be sticking. There we go. So we've got our lovely, looks a bit oriental maybe. And then we've got Best Friends Forever, which I, ahead of time, heat embossed, which is not heat set because the B from that has just nearly rubbed off. So I'm just going to heat set that. Just get rid of that excess on there. There we go. So let's just see if this is sticking. As long as it sticks in the centre, I'm not overly concerned. So Best Friends Forever, there we go. So we could stick this straight here. Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's pad it actually, so we've got a little bit of dimension, but not too much. I'm just going to use some of the little pads today, so you can't see them. And I'm just going to butt this end of it up again with the edge, keeping all in keeping, should we say. There we go. So, I mean, you will have more time at home to take more care, no fingerprints and things like that. So that's demonstration number 2. I'll just move that out of the way. So exactly the same concept, same products, but a different shaped card and a different coloured card. Just shows you how different it can completely look just by swapping out the colours or the cardstock. So that's demonstration number 2. So let's move on to our next one. I hope you're enjoying today's studio. Please pop a comment if you are watching on YouTube. Let me know what you're thinking. I mean, I can't see them live. But I do get to read them afterward, which is fab. So I have some of the fabulous Carter watercolour card here. Now this is our own watercolour card. This has took me 2 years to source, 2 years to find, should we say, and put together for you lovely crafters at home. This is a high-end watercolour pad, which is going to enable you to paint pictures and take your stamping and watercolouring to another level. This is available on the website. In fact, this is available on the show on Friday, so you might want to give it a try. So I've just cut a lovely, excuse me, I've cut a rectangle here and I'm using the smooth side. Now there is a textured side on there, so hot press, cold press, okay? So hot press means it's super soft, it's been ironed out, should we say, all the creases. So let's get some colour onto here. So I'll just get my pencils. We need to pick 2. Now you could create a sunset, a night sky, whatever you want really. So I'm just going to go with some of the colours from my set. I'm going to go with a dark purplish colour, maybe into a dark pink, maybe another darker one. Just grab some random colours. If you put it down and you don't like it, do another. I'm sure you'll use the background for something else. So I'm just going to do a bit of an eclectic mix with some colours on here. So we'll go with this one first, the orangey one. So I'm just going to lay some colour. I've got my pencil on its side and I'm just going to lay some colour across the bottom here. Not too much. Put some nice colour on there, and we'll move up to the next one. Don't have to take it right to edge if you don't want to, because we're going to blend it out anyway. Next one. Next one. And then I think what we'll do is, whilst we're having fun, who says crafting should be fun? I will swap the last colour out for black. All the way to the top. Now don't forget, if you do a line of colour and it's not bright enough or it's too bright, you can take it off with a tissue, or you can dry it off and add more colour. There is really no right or wrong way. So I'm just going to create a bit of a colour background here using a flat brush. You can also use a round brush if you want to. So I'm going to start from the orange here. I'll just put this in shot. I'm going to start with the orange. I'm just going to move up the page and let it just do its thing really. So when I get to the top, I'll just clean my brush so I don't contaminate, then I'll work back down. Trying to get a bit of a blend in there. We'll leave that as is. I'm just going to dry that off. Tidy that area first before we end up with a mess. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use one of our way old stamp sets, which probably a lot of you have already got. Just pop these away. So we're going to be using By the Moonlight. This is on the FBL if you are looking for it. So it's this lovely one here with our beautiful trees. So you get the moon in there, more large sentiments than the trees. So this has to be one of my all-time favourites. Silhouette stamps are an absolute must in your stash. So whether it be trees, foliage, they really do give good looking cards. So I'm just going to pop this in here. What we're going to do first off though is going to create a little bit of foreground and background. So with the stamp, I'm going to stamp in a light colour first, like a grey or something. I haven't decided. We will go with whatever's to hand, and then what we'll do is we'll move them and do a true black. So I'm going to go high up on this one first. So just going to catch a little bit of it there, like so. Let's see what we've got going on in, see if I've got a colour in my stash. Right, okay, so we've got these to hand, so we'll go with these. So let's go for Hickory Smoke, a Distress ink, and let's just see if it gives an effect when we come to stamp this down. Now, just looking at that now, I'm just going to turn this around, just simply because I'm going to put the black to the base so it actually looks like a sunset. Let's just see if my trees are in the right place now. Let's just go a little bit higher with the trees. So I'm just doing the grey all over. This is going to create this is going to give the appearance of trees being in the background before we stamp our foreground. You see there? So let's just move this one over. So with the same stamp set, not at the same level, maybe pop this one a little bit higher. So if you didn't want to put some black trees in the front of that, you could just get a paintbrush now, if you wanted to, and you could just cast a shadow down here. In fact, I will do it, even though I'm going to stamp over it just to show you. So the 2 looks for the price of 1. So I'm just going to pick up some of this lovely grey, and I'm going to cast a shadow down from here like so. So it looks like if the moon was shining on that tree, you would get the shadow of the tree down on here, look. Can we see that? Probably need to be a little bit darker. So you could probably make it a little bit darker if you wanted to, maybe go in with a black. So that would be like an instant, it looks hand painted, doesn't it? But I'm not going to do that. I am going to bring some black into it, but I need to dry it off first. So that's one way that you could finish it if you want to. You could pop some snow on the tree if you wanted to, make a Christmas card. Just going to lift this up. So let's bring this together now by popping the black on there. Like so. So with this one, we're going to go with the black. You may have to repeat stamp because obviously it's watercolour card, which is fine, we can do that. Can we see now how we're creating a little bit of perspective on there? Just clean that off. What I'll do is I'll swap the stamp out, so we've got these smaller ones here. So it's following the tree line. See that there? So I'm just going to dry that one off. So if you are using VersaFine, which obviously I use a lot, the way to know that it's dry is the shininess of it disappears when it's dry. So if it's shiny, it's an indication that it's not dry, albeit it is a fast drying ink. If it's shiny, it means it's not dry. So let's just pop this to one side. So in that sentiment set as well, you get a lovely sentiment, which is, don't tell me the sky's the limit when there are footprints on the moon. Now you could maybe pop it, you could pop it anywhere you wanted to. So let's go. Now I'm being very ambitious here, and I'm going to try and heat emboss this. Now if this image is not dry completely, the heat embossing powder will stick everywhere, but I'm going to go for it anyway, because I know that you guys at home get what I'm trying to achieve. So if it doesn't work out when you do it at home, make sure it's absolutely dry. So I'm going to go with my anti-static and lather it to death. So if there is any moisture in there, it's not going to stick. Because this does brush off. It doesn't make a mark on your work. So let's go with gold. So I am going to use my Versamark, which is here, which is the sticky ink. This is on the website too. Go for it again, just to make sure. Can't see if that's stamped or not, so I'm just going to go for it one more time, and fingers crossed and toes crossed and all the other things in between that it works. Thanks. So, sorry about that, my son's making me something. I needed some scissors. So, not quite sure what I'm going to be walking out of here into, but we'll soon find out. So, I think we haven't done a bad effort there. So, I'm going to heat emboss and see what it looks like. But, as I've said, if you are doing it yourselves at home, ensure that the ink underneath is completely dry. Otherwise, you spend all that time doing your beautiful background and then you ruin it because the heat embossing is just stuck everywhere. It's so frustrating. Talking from experience. See that there? There we go. Perfect. Don't tell me the sky is the limit when there are footprints on the moon. Love that one. So let's get this one back onto a card then. So what I'm going to do, just to frame this piece, just going to stick it onto some black. Just going to go ahead and quickly stick it on here. Now this is watercolour card, remember that, so you may have to tape and glue. For speed I'm just going for tape here, might fit that way, it might do. But if you have got the patience at home, make sure you use tape as well, because these things with the cockle that you get from the tools and things, it takes forever to dry. But not a bad effort, that one. I really didn't think that would work, but I just went for it anyway in the hope. So luck is on my side today, as it's not always, let me tell you. But I am a true crafter, as you guys are at home, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just going to grab a piece of tissue. I'm just going to give this a little rub over, get rid of all that powder, anti-static, so it's all nice and clean. And I'm just going to pop it onto this top folding note card. So that's the 3 demos for today. I hope you have enjoyed them. Something different, completely different to what we normally do, but you know, we do like to try new things. Whether they work all the time, we're not sure, but 3 completely different demos. And if you haven't got any of the products in your stash at home, you know you can use other people's products. They will work. So whatever you've got in your stash, you need to get them out, whether it be ours or not. if you do like any of the products, you can go to our website and pop FBL into the search engine. Excuse me, I think I've got hiccups. Typical, hey? Pop FBL into the search engine and it'll bring up all the products that are in the show on Create and Craft and our show here today, and all of the other shows as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's studio. Don't forget to pop a comment below. We do love to listen to what you've got to say. You inspire me also. I know you all say thank you so much for your inspiration, I'm going to give that a try. You guys inspire me with what I see when you've watched my show, so keep up the good work, guys. I'm back with you on next Monday, but don't forget I am on Create and Craft on Friday 7 and 2 with a whole host of gift ideas and lots of media products to get your hands, get stuck into and have a arty afternoon if you want to. So I will speak to you all later. Have a great evening, whatever you're doing. Take care. Bye.